If you're a Chase customer, you need to watch this because Chase is closing credit card accounts. And if you don't pay off the balance, it can turn into a lawsuit.
Chase is closing my credit card, and it seems that I'm not the only person this is happening to. So here's what I found out so far. First and foremost, if you think this isn't going to happen to you, it definitely could happen to you, because these are just DMs I received last night or the night before when I posted this on my social media, which I do not have any type of following on there. Like, I'm not an influencer. Okay, I'm just gonna have to insert like a photo or a screenshot of the letter that I got and the email that I got because it's vague. It's so stupid. The reasoning is non-existent.
Now, if you're doing these 3 activities, your accounts with Chase can be shut down, even if your credit cards are being paid on time, and they can even shut down your bank account. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 3 activities that you need to avoid so your Chase bank accounts and credit cards don't get shut down. Number 1, credit cycling. Now, credit cycling is when a person buys something on their credit card and they pay it off, buy something again, and then pay it off before the credit card due date. But the key that gets the card shut down is when you are making these purchases, you're maxing out the card. Even though you are paying it down immediately, it hits a red flag on your account. Here's a story on how credit cycling works.
First of all, we did basically a poll. Almost no one has heard of what credit cycling is. Explain it. What is this, Taylor?
Yeah, so it's when someone essentially repeatedly maxes out their credit card, then pays it off all in one cycle. So it's like this revolving door of debt. And I think it's better explained with an example because I think that can get a little bit confusing. So say you open a new credit card and your limit is $5,000. You decide to make a big purchase, spend it all in one place on a new gaming system. Well, you have officially maxed out your credit limit for the month. But, and this is where it gets important, instead of waiting until your next cycle to spend more, you pay off that new gaming system immediately, which then brings your credit limit back up to $5,000, and you continue to make more purchases. So this essentially allows people to spend far beyond their credit limit, and in some cases, doubling it. Now, this is a practice that has become a trend among young credit card users, and while very tempting, it does come with a lot of risks.
I don't know why I'm still confused on this here a little bit. Like, what's the fascination with this, right? Because I'm sitting there going, I mean, if you pay it off within the 30-day cycle, how is that harmful? You're paying for it and you're not incurring a finance charge.
Yeah, because you technically have a credit limit, right? So what you're doing is burning through that and then paying it off, and then boom, your credit limit is back up to your normal spot. So there's a lot of reasons of why this can be a little very tempting. The biggest one is you can really rack up rewards. That's your cash back, your travel points, your sign-on bonuses. And also it can be tempting because this allows you to, again, increase your credit limit so you're able to make a lot more purchases than what the bank essentially told you that you could in the very beginning.
Okay, so what are the risks associated with? Because I'm with Jason. If you're paying it off here before the monthly billing cycle is over, maybe we're just too old to figure it out. What are the risks here?
I mean, the biggest risk is a bank kind of noticing that you're doing this and then shutting down your account and then taking back all of your rewards, because banks spend billions of dollars on rewards every single year. It's what gets people to open up credit cards, right? They even kind of have competitions over, well, my bank offers better rewards. Well, this artificially kind of inflates the cost a bank would be spending on those rewards. But secondly, and I think this is the one that people should really think about, is that this can also raise alarm bells on the type of behavior that you're doing. So it can look like you're in financial distress. You are borrowing way more than the bank allots you to. And second, it also mimics fraud and money laundering. And that's not something that you want to have on your account either.
Okay, can I throw another example out there and see if I'm in the ballpark? I'm trying to wrap my head around this. All right, so let's say you get 2-3% cash back. You maxed out the $5,000 for the month. You pay it back in a week, right? So you got 2% cash back on the $5,000. You've paid it off. I make another $5,000 purchase. I'm getting another 2 or 3% cash back when I was originally only supposed to get it on the 5,000, right? So now I'm getting it on 10,000 within a 30-day cycle. That's where the red flag comes up to these banks going, we only told you could do it on your max amount. You're doubling that amount in a 30-day cycle. That's the issue here. It's not that am I getting into debt? It's I'm sort of taking advantage of the system.
Yes.
That is,
and the concern is not just on rewards. I mean, that's a benefit of this for the people who do it, but it's the behavior that this looks a lot like money laundering.
Now, this is against banks' policies because it looks like money laundering. And now banks must watch any illegal activity when it comes to any accounts, like your credit card accounts or even bank accounts. And the federal government can fine them. And a lot of people are doing this to rack up rewards and points. And these banks already have their numbers of profit listed out if you're using that card and if they issued a $5,000 credit line to you and you're maxing it out even though you're paying it off, if you're maxing it out again in that card cycle, that's like $10,000 worth of credit that you're using. So they do not like that. And that's a violation. And that can get your Chase credit card shut down. Number two, too much open available credit.
Last week, I woke up to my credit cards all being closed by Chase. Yeah, and I just received the letters in the mail as to why. I did call this week and they said that I would receive letters with more information, but they basically said that I had too much credit open and I requested too much credit this past year, so they wanted to close my accounts. I had 8 credit cards with Chase and I opened up half of those probably this year, but I was approved for all of them, so I thought I was in the clear and I opened those to earn the promotions, so earn more credit card points with those credit cards. I didn't know that they could turn around and then say, oh, just kidding, you can't have all these credit cards because you have too much credit. I thought if you got approved for the credit cards, you're in the clear. Now, if you're not using those credit cards for a long period of time, yes, I understand if they want to close the account because you're not using it, but it's been less than a year. So yeah, I got all of the papers in the mail, and it says, here are the reasons we closed your account. Too many accounts open recently, but they allowed it, and too many requests for credit or reviews of credit. Because whenever you open a credit card, they look at your credit score, and it's just frustrating because I've been really careful, calculated with opening my credit cards, and I had over 350,000 points with my Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card, and they closed that, and that's over $4,000 of value with travel. It's just irritating.
Now, banks do not like this because if you're their customer and you have open large lines of credit, there's a risk in financial hard times like now that you might start using those lines and you cannot pay that money back. So you'll see many banks cut your credit card lines. And additionally, banks actually check your credit report every 6 months. So if you open up some additional lines of credit somewhere else, banks sometimes don't like that because now it look like you can run up those lines and carry a balance, and you have a balance with us. You might not can pay us back. So in this case, they will check, and they reversed her decisions of these open lines of credit, which really suck because they closed her accounts out. And if you have a balance, this can really damage your credit score. So watch out for open additional lines of credit. It can get your accounts with Chase shut down. Number 3, suspicious activity on your account.
Come with me as I spend all the rest of my money in my Chase checking account because they're going to close it, and I swear to God, this is the reason I use my money. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Chase. Y'all might want to listen. See, because I have my money that goes to another institution, all my direct deposits, all of my everything that comes into our household goes into one bank. And then I transfer money to my Chase checking account so that I can pay bills. Chase doesn't like that. Their AI department and their DTech department didn't like that. So they said, nah, looks fraud, gonna close account. To which I have spent more than 6 hours trying to fix, talking with the branch manager of 25 years, who was helpful, by the way, but they don't get your business. I could understand if there'd been an overdraft or some bad check. Not one ever. They are mad that I am putting money into my account and then using money.
Now, banks like Chase and other banks will shut down your accounts or even freeze them if there's unusual activity, such as you putting large deposits in that bank account or transferring money out of that bank account that you normally do not do. Also, with the early warning detection system, even with your other bank accounts, if you are disputing charges that comes out, or even with your credit cards, disputing charges often, that can put you on that list. And your accounts can get shut down just by doing that. So you want to be careful when you're disputing different charges that show up, because that can put you on that list. And if your credit card gets shut down, this can be a disaster for your credit report because it drives up your credit card utilization and tank your credit score. But you can dispute that information because for the bank to report that debt, it must be 100% complete and 100% accurate. And my user, Greg, with my elite credit system, was able to remove a collection within 12 days once he starts to dispute. So if you need my help with my AI software and credit coaching. That link is in the description of the video and in the pinned comment section. And if you have hard inquiries, you can go to my website and download my free hard inquiry removal package. I'll leave that link below also. Make sure that you check your balances if your accounts get shut down to make sure the accounting is correct. I would also write the bank and request my whole billing history, because you don't want to rack up a ton of interest on this closed account if that happened with your credit card, because if you don't pay it off, it can lead to a lawsuit against you, and you can get even your paycheck garnished if you get a judgment if it goes to court. So you want to protect yourself and your credit. Now, hopefully this information was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section. More detailed questions for me, you can go to my website and all your questions go directly to my cell phone. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.